Today we're going to be building the Frog by Tamiya. Yes, I know it says Hornet on the box, but if I can get my hands on my little bouncy friend underneath the counter over here, it's going to be splattered across the top of the Hornet, turning it into the desired kit that I wanted to buy originally, and that was the Frog. Hello tubers! Today's video, or big build, is going to be the Hornet from Tamiya. It was originally released in 1984. It's a two-wheel drive off-road buggy. It has an ABS resin bathtub frame, diff gear, loaded, sealed gearbox. I'm ballsing this up because there's a frog in here and he's sniggering still. I can see you.
2 hours later.
I can't find my voice because there's a frog in here! Ribbit. Ribbit. Hello tubers! Welcome to today's video. We're going to be building the Hornet from Tamiya. Originally built in 1984, the original kit. It's two-wheel drive, it's a bathtub chassis, as you probably may be already aware of. Made out of ABS resin. It takes the standard 540 can. It is probably one of Tamiya's most iconic models to date, along with a few other honourable mentions: the grasshopper, the frog. Don't even go there.
Ribbit. The frog that's loose in the workshop as we speak.
The lunchbox, hotshot, bigwig, grasshopper. For me personally, the thundershot. Can't concentrate tonight.
Is that because there's a frog in
I
there?
think so, because I'm waiting for it to jump at my leg again.
Well, it is under your stool.
Probably is somewhere. Anyway, of course not limited to just those models, but this is an iconic one nonetheless. It's not my favourite looking historic RC car from Tamiya, but it's amongst some of my favourites. I'm going to bring you in closer. We'll open the contents up as you always know, and then I'm going to go straight into the time lapse. For those of you that are interested, this is just a standalone kit. It comes with no radio gear, the body's not painted, and it doesn't even come with a servo, but it does come with an electronic speed controller and can. To complete the kit, you need a radio system, as I said. Now I've got a standard ET3 already, so all I have to do is buy an extra receiver, bind it up, and away we go. Equally, a cheap servo. They're about £9 for your cheapest. You don't need anything 15-20 kilos rated. This is rated I think for 5 or 6 kilos, and that'll be more than enough for a little kit like this. And of course the last thing you need is a paint. I think this is PS5. Yeah, PS5. Other than that, that's all you need to buy. So if you haven't got an existing radio system that you can just adapt to use for this, you're looking at around £30, £6 for that, £9 for that, we'll say £45 plus that. So for £145 you can build one and start using it, or just build it and have it as a nice shelf queen. Let's bring you in. Just before we do get going, the time lapse is going to be slightly different on this occasion. You're going to see me time lapse building it, and I'm going to stop at intervals and make some comparisons, because this is very much like the grasshopper, this kit, except for the few obvious difference: the body, spiked rear tyres instead of ribbed, and the headlight position mainly. Right, let's take a look inside. Right. Of course, straight out of the box, we're going to go with, you got the battery tray cover, you got your figure. For some reason it comes with two different figures. I don't know if maybe the body part of the figure, rather, it comes with two of them, whether this one's more in keeping with the original 1984 model. Of course you've got the side bumpers, if you will. Here's the tyres that I mentioned. Of course, let's just do my sleeves up. Of course, these ones are spiked. The bigger ones, the rear wheels, are spiked, unlike the grasshopper. Of course it comes with the ESC, and this one is capable of running brushless, censored. It runs LiPo, I believe 2S, it may be capable of 3. Obviously the wheels, identical again to the Grasshopper. We've got some suspension pieces, the arms and the servo mechanism parts. So far it does kind of feel very familiar, so I picked this piece out of the box. I won't stab at that for the minute. I think that does part of the back of the chassis. Oh, I like these. I never cut them down. Oh, that one's a shorter one. Grasshopper one comes one almost twice the distance, or length rather. Yeah. The rear gearbox diff housing and drive hubs. The rear spoiler, which I'm quite excited about, because I think that looks quite good on it. Although I prefer the Grasshopper so far, really. Nice body. That does look nice though, doesn't it? Got a couple of bits already cut out. And the classic chassis that we all know that comes with. It's called a bathtub type chassis. Yeah. Also, the decal kit. Let us know below, do you build the chassis first or do you build the body? In recent weeks I've read that people like to build the body first. They get more enjoyment out of it. Right, here comes the goodie box. Just off camera I cut the sellotape so I could open it. Comes with your front bumper, your drive gears, your differential. Comes with a 540 can. The Grasshopper only comes with a 380, I believe. Now these are going to be some of the components I'm more interested in. Yeah. The shocks are metal on this, where they're plastic. You can see where the price difference comes from. So I probably should have said at the beginning of the video I'm comparing it because they're virtually the same kit, although they're about £20 difference in price, and I don't kind of accept that's all down to the body. But anyway, you've got some more gearbox gubbins, and perhaps steering arm pins, yeah. Another bag of screws, more suspension bits, your wheel nuts, the dreaded 1001 little screws for the nut and bolts for the wheels, because they're beaded, non-glue, a load of screws of course, and again some more. This is something I didn't expect to see, is plastic bushing. I probably should have read up a little bit more before buying the kit, but I was under the impression perhaps they come with proper ball racers to start with. Your spur gear, some R-clips, some more grease, and some steering arm gubbins. Right, I'm going to put that all back in its box because I think that's the best way of doing it. We get the bits out of the box each time we need something. All the screws possibly might have to be opened up like the Grasshopper. Very disappointing. If you've built a big wig, you go from one bag to the next bag to the next bag. When that bag's depleted, it's time to open the next bag, and it tells you all the instructions. These chipper kits seem to be a little bit disappointed and not as well structured like some of the more expensive kits. So let's pop it away and start with the time lapse.
Read my eyes, do I want to stay? If you thought you weren't made that way, it's the choices we make, we give and take, and I know.
Right, tubers, just stopping there, just realised this little doofer sits on the axle. I'm pretty confident in saying that this isn't standard to the Grasshopper, so I'll be interested to see how this pans out. I haven't read too far ahead, but I did notice when I looked through that this did seem optional extra. It is extra to this particular kit. So as soon as we know a little bit more about it, I should bring you back. All I know best,
Said I think I know what you mean. Pretty good for a dumb machine, and you gave me that smile.
Right then, tubers, difference number 2 that I have found. The back of the chassis has to be extended slightly for a different shock position. The shocks on the Grasshopper mount here, and it has this extra little gubbin on the Hornet that fits like so. Also these bits, which to me so far seem identical to the Grasshopper, which slot in here, which the rear swing arm sits in, I think in this groove here. This time has, I don't know if you can see that, a spring gubbin on it this time. So there's another couple of differences. And a bigger difference I see is the body is clipped on and off on this one. On the Grasshopper, it's permanently screwed into position.
Stood there for a while. That was when you woke me up. All this time, I didn't know I had my heart on standby. That it is love that I am feeling inside. What it means to be a human. All this time, I've been a fool for not seeing you shine. I let my circuits blindly say you'll be mine. You are the only one who can teach a robot how to dance. Without emotions made of steel, what was I supposed to feel? I didn't want to take chances. Past romances were telling me I just crash again. You showed me how it can't be true. How can I make it up to you and your endless forgiveness, sparkling kisses? Now I think I know what that means. All this time, I didn't know I had my heart on standby. That it is love that I am feeling inside. What it means to be a human. All this time, I've been a fool for not seeing you shine. I let my circuits blindly say you'll be mine. You are the only one who can teach me to dance.
Right, we've got to that stage. Body's prepped, body's painted. I've done it 2 different ways. I've put a white underneath this one because it supposedly helps the colour pop, i.e. make it stronger. I didn't with the spoiler because I didn't want the underneath to look white. And plus I don't know if the popping of the colours applies to all the different types of paint, i.e. different shades, you know, greens, orange, blues, pinks, reds, and all of that. And in this case black is a very bold colour. But this is the bit we all like. So let's take the window cover. Right, tubers, there's the window mask off. You won't see it as well as I can, I expect, on the camera, but that doesn't look too bad. Quite pleased with that. Not very clear at the moment because that's all the overspray. Let's peel the protective layer off and see how glossy she looks. Oh wow, that looks good already. Only from the back. I can probably see it where you can't. Being snidey with the covering. Oh yeah, that does look good. Wow, look at that, it looks very glossy. Oh, that's wonderful. like I say, I've already unveiled the rear spoiler because I grew impatient. And we'll see if putting a white underneath the black's made the black an any stronger colour. So far I'm very pleased with that. The windows are very good, I'm very happy with the outcome of that. Right then guys, I don't know if you think that makes it pop anymore. You can see. Right, let's apply some stickers.
Seeing you shine, I let my circus blind me say you'll be mine. You are the only one who can teach a robot how to dance.
Now I did say I would be breaking that video up and doing it slightly different to the Grasshopper one, and talking you through some of the fundamental differences. Well, I did to a certain extent, as I said I would, but I think really the only real difference is the body, obviously, and the rear suspension setup. It has an extra bit at the front for the body clip. The rear suspension, as you know and saw, is extended back. And again, that pays homage to the fact that it's got different suspension altogether and a different body at the back. Now the suspension on this, I don't know if you noticed in the time lapse, is dampened, oil shocked. The stickers were also pre-cut, and that is very time consuming. I think I put more time into the body on this than it did assembling the kit itself, the main car. I've put somewhere in the region of 6 hours in. Again, that might sound quite long. It might not sound long enough for some of the purists out there that really do take their time. And I know some people take more pride in their body than I have. I'm very proud of how this has come out. I don't think the stickers are brilliant like the Grasshoppers were, but that said, it does look very smart. We're not going to run this one at the end of this video. I have accompanied a receiver for this controller, ET3. It does work, move back and forth. I've already bench tested it during the build process before I started on the body. Instead, we're going to take this straight out to the field and we're going to give it a before and after run, because I'm going to fundamentally change something on this. I don't want to ruin that for the moment. That'd be for a future video. I think if you're looking at buying a kit for a child for Christmas or for yourself, and perhaps maybe even be your first kit, I certainly recommend my Grasshopper over the Hornet for terms of easiness. This wasn't a difficult build, but there were just times, like with the body stickers, that just require that bit more patience. And of course the rear suspension, if you've never filled oil shocks before, it's not daunting, but it's something that perhaps you want to watch a few videos on, or get a shock and just practice getting the air out of it. A lot of people I know fill it up with oil, put the caps on, jobs are good. That's not the right thing to do. You've got to get all the little pockets of air out, and that is very time consuming as well. As you probably saw, I had a stand on here and the air was rising the whole time, and I'd do the shocks again, the shafts of the shocks, pump any more air out. Anyway, let's bring you in closer so you can have a closer look. Well, there we are, tubers. That's it, it's complete. I've enjoyed that one again. I've done it over the course of several evenings, so you probably noticed different clothing going on. Yeah, I'm really chuffed with that. A nice iconic Hornet for the collection. I hope you've enjoyed watching the time-lapse build, and I hope you're enjoying the channel. If you are, why not subscribe over here and watch one of our other builds over here. Till next time, keep building.